Good morning children. Now today in this class we are going to study about the carboxylic acid. This is the next functional group of carbon compounds in your syllabus. So carboxylic acid, its functional group is written as COOH. This is the functional group COOH. Its structure can be written as C having a double bond, one oxygen with a double bond, another oxygen and with hydrogen. This is the way you can write down the structure of this functional group. The suffix which we use in this functional group is oic. We will use as oic acid. Whenever you give the name to this compound, we will use oic acid. Now the first member of this carboxylic group is HCOOH, that is methanoic acid, or in common language we call it as formic acid. Okay, this is known as commonly it is known as formic acid, and this acid is found in red color ants that you see in your garden. That it contains formic acid. Its formula is HCOOH and its IUPAC name is methanoic acid. Why we called it as methanoic? As because it contains only one carbon in it, and being the acidic group having one carbon, it is known as methanoic. As we have discussed in our earlier topics, that whenever you give the IUPAC name, you have to drop that methane, E of that methane, and give the suffix that is provided to it. So here also in methane, METHANE, drop that E, remove that E and write down OIC, oic in it. So being having a one carbon in it, we will name it as methanoic acid. Now we will find out the other members of this carboxylic group. That means when from methane, one hydrogen from methane is removed and it is replaced by one COOH group, carboxylic group, then you will get CH3COOH. That means ethanoic acid. Now in this one, after removing one hydrogen, you are getting CH3COOH. Here you see there will be two carbon. When two carbon, we will use the substitute name as ethane, removing the E of ethane and putting the oic acid in it. We will get that, we will write its name as ethanoic acid. Similarly, when we use ethane, removing one hydrogen and putting the carboxylic acid in its place, we will get three carbon chain. As you can see, I will write it down again for you here. Here you can see, again if I am taking ethane and removing one hydrogen and replacing that hydrogen by carboxylic group, you will get CH2, C2H5 and COOH. Here you count, you will get 2 and 1, 3 carbon. This can be written in the form of a chain like CH3, CH2, COOH. Here you will get 3 carbon chain, and as you know, I have told you how to do the numbering. We will start numbering from this functional group. As the functional group itself contains a carbon, so we will name that functional group as 1 and then continue with the numbering to the chain. So there we will get 3 carbon chain, so we will name it as propanoic acid. Okay, I think you have understood this, how it is written. And one more very important part that you should know, this carboxylic group is also present at the terminal end of the chain. You cannot write this carboxylic group in between the chain. Okay, it is not possible to write down in between the chain, as it will not flow with the complex compound that will be formed. But you will have understood that we have studied alcohol, in which OH group was there, aldehyde having CHO group functional group, ketone C double bond O will be the functional group of ketone, and for carboxylic acid we are having COOH as a carboxylic acid. Now one more is there that you will see. Last functional group that you have to study is the halogens, and here I will tell you about halogen also in the same video, as it is taking too much time for completing the course. So halogen is another functional group, and that we represent by X. Halogen as a functional group, we represent it by X. X represent any type of halogen that is present in it. That can be fluorine, chlorine, bromine or iodine. These are all halogens. In order to represent the whole of this halogen group, X can be written. If you want to use any one particular halogen like chlorine or iodine, fluorine or bromine, you can write that halogen also in the compound. But in order to study in the lower classes like 10th class, it's where we will go with only one example as either chlorine. Here also the naming has to be done. The word halo is used as a prefix. Halo is used as a prefix. Okay, we will not use it as a suffix. We will use it as a prefix. And then halogen here is used as a prefix, and that is the only X is used here. Now we will see what some examples to that. The first example which we take, when we replace one hydrogen of an alkane, methane, I am replacing it with, suppose I am going with X now, and then I will explain with another example also. With X, you will get CH3X after replacing. So the compound name will be haloalkanes. The complex compound name will be, we will do halo. Halo means it is representing all the halogens, and this is the alkane group that is attached to it. Alkane is the way you will write down its name. Now I am going to take another example where one hydrogen is replaced by one chlorine. And when how this chlorine is replacing, that you will see, you will get CH3Cl. One hydrogen has been replaced by chlorine. Now the compound name is, this compound is CH3Cl. Now in order to write down its IUPAC name, we will write down chloromethane. It is chloromethane, as I told. That halo word is for representing for the whole halogen. Similarly, when we use this any of the halogen, we will use the term like fluoro, chloro, bromo or iodo. So here I will use chlorine. So I will write down the name chloromethane. As for the general, I have told you that is a haloalkane. So halo, in place of halo, the chlorine used, so chloro, and in place of alkane, we got the alkane as methane, so we will use it as methane. I will take one more example for you. If ethane is there, suppose I am replacing one hydrogen with bromine. I am taking just to make you understand another example I have taken. Bromine, you will get a compound C2H5Br. Now Br is there as a bromo, and the alkane group is here ethane. So you will write the name as bromoethane. IUPAC name will be bromoethane. Only this much, up till this much, knowing little bit about all the functional group that is present in your course, that is given prescribed in your course, has to be done. I have explained you children all the 5 types of functional group that you have to study. Alcohol, aldehyde, ketone, carboxylic acid and halogen. Out of all these, you will come to know that alcohol, halogen and these two alcohol halogen can be written either to the terminal ends or in between. Any place can be written in it. That is why many isomers I have given to you. But here ketones, you will always find that it will get its place in the center. On either side of the ketone there must be some alkyl group present in it. I hope you have understood, and I have already given you one table in which the various functional groups has been written in it. One example I will show here to them, which is very important. To know. Suppose one compound, complex compound is given to you as like this, C3H6O. C3H6O is the compound, organic compound given. And question asked here is, write down its functional group. Change this compound into showing different functional groups. So you have to think about what type of functional groups can be written in it. Suppose I am writing this. So I can write this CH3, C having a double bond, and again CH3. With this, one functional group has been written. CH3, we are having 3 carbon. So 1, 2, 3 carbon and 6 hydrogen. So 6 hydrogen is already there and 1 oxygen. This can also be written as CH3, CH2, CHO. This is the one from CHO. Now this is the second one, this is the first one, then the second one with the same. 3 carbon, 1, 2, 3. We can count it from here. 1, 2, 3. 3 carbon, 3, 4, 5, 6 hydrogen and 1 oxygen. Okay. Now I think if I can answer to H5. This up till here, 2 functional groups can be written in this. What was the functional group? One was ketone and another was this aldehyde group. So children, you can go through the book, NCERT book very nicely and see if you find such types of more questions in it. If you are having any doubt, please feel free to clear your doubts either personally or in the group. Thank you. Hoping that you have understood these functional groups.